One thing that you should prepare before you travel to Japan or any country, in fact, is in Japan especially, because their English language skills aren't that great, or they're too shy to speak English, or they're worried about speaking to foreigners. If you do get sick or ill for any reason, you might have difficulty finding a doctor or going to a hospital because they're, as I said, they're afraid of talking to foreigners, and they're especially afraid of miscommunications, especially anything that's related to health and medical. So that can be a liability. Please do check the embassy website. Sometimes the embassy does have a list of hospitals that welcome foreigners and work better with foreigners. Before you leave the country, as always, please purchase some travel insurance, and make sure you know what that travel insurance details. Some travel insurances, you have to pay for the expenses on your own first, and then take the receipts and get reimbursed in your home country when you return. Some policies, they will do cashless service for you, but usually you would have to pay first and then get reimbursed when you go back home. Unless it's a very, very severe illness, they might be able to help you, but it also always depends on your policy. Please do take out travel insurance. If you can afford to travel, you should afford travel insurance. It's not that much, depending on how many days you're staying. 3 days. Most people 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 or 14. Or if you travel a lot, taking out an annual policy, that's always the best thing. It's completely worth it. If you don't use it maybe 10 times and you do use it on the 11th time, it is, as I said, completely worth it, even if you have like a cold or diarrhea, because hospitals can get expensive. And please make sure that you have medical evacuation. I used to do that, taking patients home when they're sick overseas and abroad. They can't get on the plane sometimes without a doctor or nurse. So make sure that you do have at least, most commercial flights would be around not more than 60,000 US dollars for like maybe a stretcher or something, that most likely anywhere around the world. So at least have $60,000 in medical evacuation limit. And then, especially in Japan, things can always happen, especially earthquakes. So if there's earthquakes, your travel plans can get out of whack, and you might be stuck in a certain area. You might not be able to continue on your onward travels, or the train lines might be down, things like that. So it's definitely worth it to get travel insurance, especially if you travel to during these times with the pandemics, and especially if you have connecting flights, which can either get canceled, your baggage can get lost, the lines are really bad. But it's starting to normalize with more and more airlines allowing increasing their flights. But some countries are still having a bit of problems, and I understand that there's only a few select destinations that are popular during this month, because of other places are having, certain travel restrictions or strikes or whatever. So enjoy your travels.